And if you guys have not checked out the Tech Park social media, please do and look for Sarah's picture of her saying goodbye to her husband. It is great
Crying,
work from home.
crying as he's leaving.
If I had it right now, I would show it to the audience, but unfortunately I don't.
Oh, darn.
Diana, why don't you tell us how you maintain a work-life balance?
Uh, so I must admit, I really wasn't very good at it at first when all of this started happening. And I would just find myself, just because I didn't really have much else to do. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. And I didn't want to watch Netflix all night. I would just kind of always have email open. I always had my laptop open. And so after a few weeks, I really had to learn to kind of do the same thing as everyone else does, like turn off my laptop. It's 5 o'clock. I shouldn't look at it anymore. And I've noticed that I actually start work a lot earlier than I normally would, because as soon as I wake up, it's like 6 a.m. and I'm already starting to send out email. And so it's that took a lot of adjusting for me. And so now it's definitely, I kind of give my start. I have a start time. I have an ed time. I make sure that I leave my house, even if it's for a walk, just so that I have that, what normally would have been my 20-minute car ride back home from work is now my 20-minute walk that I just take at the end of the day to clear my mind and to keep it off of work.
Awesome. Now, Diana, just to go off a little bit, do you think you have that perfect work-life balance right now, or do you think you're working to achieve that?
I'm always working to achieve it. Some days are a lot easier than others, but you know, if I have like just a really, really busy day with Zoom call after Zoom call, it's a little bit more difficult, because then at the end of the day, all I want to do is just catch up on things that I probably missed throughout the day. And so it's always a work in progress. I really don't think I have it completely down, but you know, it'll get there maybe one day.
So I guess you could say, with what adjustments may you need to achieve a greater balance? What do you think that would be for you?
It would definitely be really starting to get into more of a rhythm of things, and to have more of a schedule, which is, you know, it's even difficult because it's not like I have a schedule. It's not like I can go to the gym, or, you know, there's a class at the gym that I can take, or there's a class that I can take outside of work. It would be a little bit different if we weren't in a pandemic, but I still need to get better at kind of establishing a schedule. So even if it's not just a start and an end time of me working, it's actually a set schedule of breaks throughout the day, so that I can be a little bit more productive.
Sure. What about Natalie, what about you? What adjustments may you need to make to achieve a greater balance for yourself?
So definitely working from home. I've noticed that I feel guilty if I step away from my computer, and I don't know why that is, because at the office, you know, I would walk to the break room or walk down to the cafe or just take a walk. So for me, it's a matter of making a point to leave my desk. I think it's really important to have a separate workspace, whether that be like mine is in my living room. But I have to make a point to get up and actually leave the living room and go do something else, reminding myself that it's okay. Because if I was in the office, I would be going to the break room, stopping at people's desks and talking to them, and having that moment where I'm not just staring at my computer all day. So it's getting over the guilt of leaving my desk.
Jade, what about you? What adjustments may you need to make to achieve greater balance?
So mine actually comes from the parent side. Being a mom and a single mom, I think sometimes I tend to forget that my daughter is at home, and I want to make sure I prepare breakfast, prepare lunch, things like that. I feel like have kind of fallen in the cracks a little bit. And she's kind of self-sufficient, but I don't need her to burn down my house. So I want to make sure like I can actually start preparing more on that side. Work-wise, it's been fine, but disconnecting from work, that's been the struggle. And I feel like that's where I'm lacking as far as making sure that I'm making that time for my daughter throughout the day. And remembering that she is here. And even though I'm working, take that time away, like Natalie said, and walk away. Like we were able to do that in the office, and then doing it more so at home, it makes you feel more obligated to stay by the computer. You don't want to look like you're away too much, but at the same time, you have to take those breathers and make that time for your family. And that's where I think I need to work on a little bit more.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jade.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, what adjustments do you need to make to achieve greater balance?
I think this whole quarantine pandemic has been really enlightening as to how much and so, when that was all taken away from us, it was very easy to see had signed our kids up for, ourselves up for. We were constantly go, 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 come home from practice, scramble to do homework, dinner. So for me, it's been eye-opening to see how much I still need to say no to, and that it's okay for the kids to be in one thing at a time. They don't need to be in 3 different events or, kinds of things. It goes for myself. It's okay to say no to things and to just kind of preserve that little bit of me time and family time and, balance it all out.
Right. Wonderful. So I guess talking about that with your kids and your family, and also some of you guys are colleagues, what roles do your colleagues or significant others play in helping you achieve balance? And let's go ahead and start with Sarah, since you left us off with the last one. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh man, huge. So, my husband, he's definitely a blessing. He comes and, he picks right up, and he's been very good at, getting me out of the house to the gym since it reopened, because I just need that way so that I can just not be mom for a minute, not be, a colleague for a minute, and just kind of have that. So he's definitely a huge part of that team. As far as my actual team and colleagues, it's equal. If there's things that, I have a busy family day or, just not having it that day, they're very good at understanding and stepping in and saying, what can I help you with? And it goes the other way. As there's stuff that they're struggling with, I want to make sure that they know that I'm there. That I can help share that load. And it really is, it's a team. So I think both have been integral in the success.
Right, wonderful. Diana, what about you?
So I've been blessed with a great boss actually, to try and, we've been very good at communicating, even though that we have, it's not like I can just go to our office to ask the question. And so it's been really great to have that communication established, and still have the phone calls and just kind of the daily jab of really trying to keep that office mentality, but not being in the office. And that's really great, especially since being alone. It's great to still, I can't just talk to my dog all the time. So, so it's great to kind of have that feeling and still a sense of normal, even though it isn't normal. And so I know a lot of people have been kind of complaining about a lot of Zoom meetings, but I actually really enjoy it because I get to see other people and I get to talk to other people. I'm not just by myself all the time. So it's been, so for me, colleagues have really been very helpful, and it's always nice to kind of see video and see other people and see how they're doing. And so I really thrive off of that now.
Well, good. Wonderful. Natalie, what about you? What role do colleagues or significant others play in helping you achieve balance?
Yeah, so very much what both Sarah and Diana said. I don't mind Zoom meetings either. I'm at my house with my husband and son all day, every day. We're all at home working from home. And so to see other people's faces is nice. but also it takes a village. And so I have my mom and my friends, and my husband is a huge help. You know, it's a lot to do on your own. And so to have those people who are willing to step in when you need the help and help is really great. I also have an amazing boss who, if I answer an email too early in the morning, he's on the East Coast, and so he does send emails very early. Our time, he'll ping me back and he'll be like, isn't it a little early for you to be responding to emails? Or if he sees me online, he'll say, you know, what are you doing online? Log off, whatever, which is a nice reminder that maybe I don't need to always be looking at my emails. It's okay to log off and take a minute.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Natalie, or I'm sorry, Jade, what about you? What roles do colleagues or significant others play in helping you achieve balance?
So, yeah, I think it's similar to everyone else. I think my family overall, I do have my parents, siblings that all stay in the Arizona area, and they're very supportive, 100% supportive. But on a day-to-day, I would say my peers, and then also my team. I have a team under me of about 12 people, and they tend to motivate me more than I can even imagine, because they tend to remind me of what I'm doing. And it gives me the reassurance that I am still doing my job, even though I'm trying to balance being at home and working as well, and also being like a teacher and everything that comes with it. I think having that reassurance from my team is great, and they kind of motivate me to push through the day. And I think that with my management as well, like with the managers, my director is amazing. He'll say, you know, you guys take some time off. He'll call it out, say everybody needs to take some time off. We had like a long week, and I think giving us that go ahead is showing that they're supportive, and that they appreciate us. And that kind of pushes me to get through the day and through the weeks.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Jade.
Mm-hmm.
So in general, Jade, how do you balance being a parent, a teacher, because I'm sure you had to do that as well. You're the CEO of your family, you're a good employee, and more importantly, how do you balance taking care of yourself during this pandemic, during this epidemic that we're dealing with right now?
So I'm going to tell you guys right now, originally I felt like a nervous wreck, especially with the schools being out. I thought that I was just like, this cannot be it. I can't do this. I can't teach. I called my daughter's teacher about 1 million times because I was just lost. And then I started feeling dumb because some of the stuff I just didn't understand. The way they were teaching nowadays is different from when I went to school. Right. So with that being said, it was very hard to balance at first. It took some time. And as you can see, like, we're all probably still working on it. I'm still working on it. But I think by prioritizing has helped. However, I know I can't be great in all aspects. I'm trying. And that's the thing that matters to me. I make sure that I'm at least trying. And if something doesn't work, I make adjustments. And I think that that's what's helped me balance all of it. I know my daughter sometimes will come in while I'm in a Zoom meeting, but I kind of just embrace it, and I let her be a part of it. I let her see what mommy's doing every day, because she's been in daycare her whole life. Like, she's been in daycare since she was a baby, and this is the time where we spent way more time than we ever have been able to. So even though it was somewhat negative as far as the impact for COVID, at the same time, there was a silver lining because I got to spend more time with my child. And we're getting to know each other even better. So it's definitely good.
It's great. Thank you, Jade.
You're welcome.
Sarah, what about you? How did you balance being a parent, a teacher, a good employee? And again, you kind of talked about this already, taking care of yourself a little bit, but tell us a little bit more about how you've been dealing with the pandemic.
Oh, I think Jade hit it. I mean, I think I cried more at my son's homework than he did. It was overwhelming, you know, and truthfully, things fell off, you know, they fell off my plate. I couldn't do it all. And, you know, with 2 little ones, you know, it wasn't always easy to, you know, get everything that I should have gotten done for work done. So, you know, I was definitely very grateful for my management team, but I just, you know, communicated. Say, look, this is how my day went today. I had 4 meltdowns. My kids had 2. So we're making progress. But I just had to give myself a lot more grace and be okay that everything wasn't going to be, you know, perfectly done like I would have liked it. But, you know, as Jade mentioned, the opportunity to get to spend more time with my children was a silver lining that I needed to focus on, and not all the things that weren't getting done the exact way I wanted them, or the things that I just wasn't able to complete that I would have liked to, you know, at work. So for me, that was huge, and just kind of letting it go, and doing what I could and being proud of that for that day, and, you know, getting some rest and trying it again the next day. I think, you know, part of that was definitely, you know, carving out an hour of time a day where I could go and work out, you know, whether that was home, you know, just kind of getting some me time so that I could de-stress, to make sure that I was the best version of myself that I could be for my kids, because they were stuck with me whether they liked it or not. So, you know, if mom could keep her stress level low, you know, it definitely helped the harmony in the house, especially when dad wasn't here, you know, to kind of help balance and intervene and play referee. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Diana, tell us a little bit about how you balance being a parent. Well, obviously you are a parent now, but tell us a little bit about your balance and you know, working from home, and tell us about your experience, because it's obviously a little bit different than the ones we've heard so far.
I've definitely done a lot of self-growth, you know, kind of being alone with your thoughts. I don't want it to sound like it's a bad thing. It really isn't. It's actually been really kind of great for me, to really just reset. I've really learned a lot about myself, and I actually, which has been kind of my pandemic goal, was actually learning how to knit, and I did that, and I'm very proud of myself for that. But it's really been great to just kind of reset and to really reevaluate how I really want to look at things, what's really important. There's been a lot of things that I just miss because I can't do it anymore. And that is really something that I think a lot of people didn't necessarily realize when all of this first started happening, was all the things that was closed and all the things that you couldn't do, like going to see your friends, or even just having a family dinner or something. You know, trying to keep a sense of normal was really, really hard. And at first I just kind of thought, like, maybe I'll just drown myself into trying new things and to doing new things or learning it, because I just didn't know what else to do. And so, but now I've just really realized that it's okay to really think about things and to be alone with your thoughts and to give yourself that time to adjust and to reevaluate, because we don't really know how long this is going to last for. So, you know, it isn't normal now, but it just may become our new normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Diana. Natalie, why don't you tell us a little bit about your balance of being a parent and teacher and CEO of your family?
Yeah, so flexibility is huge. My high schooler would have rather done his homework at 11, 12 o'clock at night than 8 o'clock in the morning when I wanted him to. And so being okay with those changes, and being okay with the fact that his routine isn't going to be the same as my routine, that he does want to stay up late. I had a few meltdowns myself. It doesn't matter if they're, you know, self-sufficient teenagers or you have to sit down and teach them what they're learning. It's definitely difficult to get through it. Like I said, routine is huge for me. I need a schedule. It took a little while for us to get a good routine down. My husband's working from home, and so for us to kind of get used to each other's schedules, we all have Zoom meetings, we have to share the internet, we have to share our space. Also, reminding myself to be present is really important, and not just for my family. It's important to me to be present for my associates as well. This has been a huge learning opportunity for me because I do have remote associates. And so being in the office and managing people in the office, I'm a huge people person. I'm at their desk all day long. It made me realize that I wasn't as present for my remote associates as I should have been. And so this has definitely been a huge learning opportunity for me.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I think it's this whole pandemic has been very unique for everybody. And want to remind everybody, you ever need to talk, Peter is always here. You can always call me. You can always text me, email me, whatever you prefer. I am always here to talk. And let be known that everybody goes through their own things in a different way. And I love the aspect that each one of you had a different story to tell. So thank you about that. But to talk a little bit more about how we're dealing with this, what did a typical week look like for you and your family before COVID-19? And, you know, we've kind of talked about a little bit about what does it look like for you now? Natalie, do you want to kind of finish off what I guess you were kind of talking about it already, but
yeah. Before COVID, we were on the go. My husband would leave really early in the morning and a lot of times not come home until, 6:30 at night. His work hours are long. My son needing to go to his guitar lessons, or if he had guitar concerts or whatever the case may be. Trying to hit the gym. I feel like I have, now that we have it down, I feel like I have more time. I feel like we have more time as a family. I feel like we have, we're not eating fast food 5 nights out of the week, which we were before. It was so easy, just, I'll pick dinner up on the way home. Now we try and schedule what we're going to have for the week and go grocery shopping, and we actually cook dinner together. We even get the teenager in there helping us cook dinner. I miss my employees like crazy. Like I said, I'm a very face-to-face person. I'm missing their faces every day, but I try and feed off of the positives of this, like the more time at home, more time with my family, more time to focus on things that I want to focus on here, not having the commute time, my husband being home more, that sort of thing.
Excuse me. Jade, what about you? What did it look like before COVID-19 and what does it look like now?
So yeah, it's similar to Natalie. It was go, go, go. We were on the go all the time, between school, work, after school activities. It was always something for us to do. I used to have to make like a drive sometimes if my daughter would be at my parents' out to Saurita, which is about a 45-minute drive, daily. And so now I've been able to slow down. So it gives me more time to do other things. Because we are working from home, my daughter has been enjoying these staycations where we'll stay somewhere in Tucson, like some resort. It gets us away and out of the house, since we are spending most of our time in the house. So she looks forward to those now since things are slowly opening back up. But I will say it's definitely allowed me to slow down and take a look around me, and also allows me to focus on some things that I have put aside, focus on things within my home that I want to repair or projects. I completely went crazy redoing my whole backyard as a playground pretty much. It was fun, but it took some time, but I did it, and I said I was going to do it for the past couple of years. Never went back there. I'm not an outdoors person, but now I've slowly but surely, I've been out on the trampoline having fun with the kids. So it's been great. It's been great. It's been a tough transition, but overall, like things that I didn't pay attention to before, I've been paying more attention now after COVID.
Great. Sarah, what about you?
I think Natalie and Jade nearly hit it. It's just been a slowdown. It's just been that realization of how overscheduled we all were. A lot by our own doing. I mean, we sign our kids up for stuff and then have to take them. So just seeing that, I know my kids miss their friends and I miss my friends. I definitely miss my colleagues, seeing them in person. But you know, they're okay not doing everything. They don't have to do all the things, but let's make sure that we're filling their days and their time with the quality things that are really going to matter and those memories. So the slowdown has definitely been huge difference between previous and now. And we did, you know, not having, I cried when I found out summer camps were canceled because I kept telling myself I just have to make it to June and, you know, we're gonna have some options. So we did some backyard work and, you know, put in a small pool. So, you know, but just trying to kind of roll with the punches and do what we can to make things fun and a fun summer for the kids. So that's been a bigger focus after, you know, COVID than it was before because we had options. We had easily accessible options. So it's been good.
Awesome. Diana, tell us a little bit about what you did before COVID and how it relates now.
Well, before I was about as on the go as I really wanted to be. You know, it was kind of great to just go home, hang out with my friends, and go to the movies and go to the gym and try different stuff. But and I mentioned this before, when COVID started, I couldn't really do that anymore, and didn't really have the opportunity to even try. It felt like to even try anything new. And so I definitely hopped on the bandwagon of DIY projects and, you know, trying something new, hence the knitting, which really is the feat of itself. I was very proud of myself. It's probably my number one thing. But honestly, recently it's been another way I've been kind of trying to calm down is the library started opening back up again. And so I had about like 20 books on hold throughout COVID because I just would find different book lists. And I was like, you know what? Because I had a library card, but I wouldn't really use it very much. I was like, why don't I just put all these books on hold so that once things start opening up, I knew that I wasn't really going to go back to the office right away. And so I was like, why not just have that in there? And then at least now I have a book to kind of also decompress after work. And I love it. I really haven't read like that since, honestly, I was probably in elementary school, like reading a book for fun. And it was something that was so important to me growing up. But when you get older, no one ever seems to have the time anymore to read. And, you know, after college, you're so used to reading textbooks all the time. So I ended up just kind of starting doing that recently. And it has been really, really good. And it's been something that I've had it stir back up in me again to start reading more because I have the time and I needed that kind of relaxation, and it's a great disassociation from work and not looking at a computer all the time and not looking at a TV, you know, and it's been great and not on my phone either. Like I turn off all technology when I'm reading, and that's been really, really helpful actually.
Good. Wonderful. Well, thank you ladies for answering all my questions, but I do want to open it up to all our guests. And if you have any questions for our lovely panel, please put it in the bottom where it says Q&A. But I do have some already lingering, so I'm going to bring these up. This is from Amber, who is asking which aspects of balance are the most challenging, and what do you do about it? So Diana, what do you think are the most challenging aspects of having balance?
Definitely knowing when it is time to step away. You know, there's a lot of times where you just get kind of sucked into doing a task for work. And there's a lot of times where I forget to eat lunch, or because I don't really have anything distracting me. So I just kind of keep going, and to make sure that I actually get done in time, or, you know, I've not been very good at setting kind of alarms on my phone for my breaks at all. And I don't know why. It seems easier for me to kind of get lost into my work when I'm at home than it was in the office, because it's not like I have people walking by or, you know, someone's cooking lunch and I smell food and I'm like, oh, I should probably eat right now. Like it's to actually set my own schedule and to set reminders on my phone to remind myself that I should probably take a break. I feel like that's been really, really challenging and still trying to get better at.
Okay. Natalie, what about you? What do you find, what aspects of balance are the most challenging, and how do you take care of them?
For me, I would say it's probably taking that time for myself. You know, I'm start at 7 in the morning with my work, and I'm at home, and so I'm staring at the dirty laundry and the floors that need to be vacuumed and ready to cook dinner and that sort of thing. And so getting better about picking up the book and reading it is something I need to work on.
Awesome. All right. Jade, tell me a little bit about what you think of the aspects of balance are most challenging, and what do you do with it?
I would agree with Natalie. I think finding time for myself, I think we tend to focus so much on everything else and everyone else that we forget that we need time to just do the normal routine checks. And with that being said, I feel like I spend less time just doing things alone, given the circumstance. And I know that I need that time away. Like when my daughter was in school, that her time away would be with my parents. With me working from home, I don't get that time. It's not actually included within my day-to-day. So now she's always with me, which is great. And I really enjoy it. But sometimes I do feel like I just need that break where it's just some alone time, peace and quiet, and I focus on myself. And I tend to just put that on the back burner a lot to where it could possibly drive it to where I get overwhelmed. And I just want to make sure that I remember to make time for myself so I don't get to that point.
Sarah, what about you? How do you, what aspects of the balance are the most challenging for you, and how do you take care of it?
So for me, the biggest part for the balance is really feeling accomplished for each of the different tasks that I need to do. I'm very much a person that I like to go, kind of how Diana mentioned, to just dive in. And that's my focus. Like, I don't see anything else. This is what I want to do. And I know the level that I want to have something completed at. And that's challenging when you're trying to balance, because you do have to say, okay, it's time. I got things done. Were they as much as I would like, or as thorough as I would like? No, but kind of trying to find that grace and saying, okay, it's good enough, because I need to now put some time into, another area. And especially with the current state where, my two littles are always here. And there's this constant pull and balance. It's very challenging to dive in and to really be focused, which is why, trying to get up and do some work when they're still asleep has been a big savior for me, because it helps me to feel that sense of accomplishment and that sense of like personal pride that, okay, I got this done. I feel good about the work that I did. And it makes stepping away later in the day much easier.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, Sarah, since you're finishing off the last question, I want to start off the next question from the audience. This is Casey asking, when you need to recharge your batteries, what do you do?
Oh, I am a gym rat. So I was like so excited when the gyms opened up again, but that's just my release. So, whatever your passion is, really finding a way to carve out that time to give yourself, because, as Jade mentioned, you need that recharge. You need that alone time, away from my husband, away from my kids. I love them, but you just need to be a woman. You just need to be an individual with nobody else to really worry about for an hour. I just have to care about myself. And that's been the biggest probably saving grace of just having harmony in the house, is, you know, me being able to step away and just do me for an hour. So the gym has been that.
Awesome. That's great. How did you manage without having a gym? I mean, were you doing it at home? Were you locked in your closet working out? I mean,
we were definitely doing it at home. So I had an awesome gym that they were posting, you know, at home workouts. And literally as soon as my husband walked in the door, I was running out to the garage to start my workout because I was ready. So, you know, that's how it was until things opened. And it was great. You know, I got my time, but, you know, there's also that social aspect that you're just missing other faces. You're missing, you know, other people. So it definitely wasn't complete, but it was enough to take the edge off and help the stress.
So are we hearing correctly, Sarah, that you're going to be leading our next classes virtually from home? Is that correct?
Hey, I'm ready. Yeah, you guys might hate me afterwards, but I'm in it.
Diana, what do you do when you need to recharge your batteries? What do you do beyond reading books and playing with your new puppy? Tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Well, gosh, it's like reading books and giving my dog a walk. Honestly, if it wasn't as hot outside, she'd probably be going on like 5 walks a day if I could. But now that it's like really hot, it's a little bit more difficult. But what I really like to do is just kind of turn off all of the technology in my house and probably go to the grocery store, get something to start cooking with. But I really, for me, I really need, I almost kind of need to like leave the building type of a thing. It's because, you know, I was used to, I think I've said this before, like I'm used to my 20-minute commute back home, and it was great to just kind of leave. I would kind of sing in my car on the way home. I'd have that time to decompress, but I don't really have that here. So for me, it's really, I have to leave my house, whether it's for a walk, whether it's to go to the grocery store. You know, I need to just not be here because I need that. I need that dissociation. I need to feel like I'm leaving the building and I'm gone for the night is really what it is. Yeah. And so I think that's kind of my main part of the day of when I know that I'm done and I'm ready to go back home and actually then do all the stuff that really calms me down. But I have to leave the building.
Yeah. Thank you, Diana. Natalie, tell us a little bit about what you do, what you need to recharge your batteries, and what you do beyond all your family stuff and you know, teaching your son to drive right.
Yeah, so running's huge for me. But at 5 o'clock in the evening, it's too hot to take a run. And so I love getting into podcasts. I will put my earbuds in and pretend to clean something because I don't get bothered when I'm cleaning, and just listen to my podcast. You know, it takes, like, I miss the commute as well. You know, 30, 45 minutes of just listening to something else, not thinking about anything else, definitely helps me recharge.
Good. Wonderful. Jade, what about yourself? When you need to recharge your batteries, what do you do?
So I tend to I do take walks. I know I said I'm not an outdoors person, but I do it when there's a purpose. So I do like to actually hike Kumamoto, and I was hurt and I about cried when they closed down, but they're back open now. But that's kind of like the way I would kind of recharge. It gives me like that time alone, and it puts my mind at peace as well. And it also allows me to work out, and I enjoy the scenery here. So I really like to go for walks and look at the mountains. Coming from Michigan, we didn't have mountains, so I like take every day and I soak them in every single day. So
awesome. Well, thank you, Jane. So we're running a little bit out of time, and I probably only have one more question time available. So this last question from Monique. Thank you, Monique. What is one word you would use to describe how you're handling this process with the pandemic? Jade, why don't we start with you?
One word. Let's see. I would say trying. That's all I can say. I'm trying, and that to me is what matters. I'm trying every day to adapt. I'm trying every day to be better. So that's why I would choose that word, trying.
Absolutely. Sarah.
I probably choose grace. Just really trying to give myself grace, those around me, my kids. It's a lot for everybody, and I think if you just extend that, that's really been my approach on how to get through this.
Yeah. Diana, what about you?
Oh gosh, can I just say it's been clumsy? It has not been an easy road. And I haven't actually fallen, but it's me running into walls and me tripping over myself, but I get there.
Natalie, what about you? What would you say, one word you would use to describe how you're handling this process with the pandemic?
Yep, I would say patience. Patience with myself, patience with my family, patience with my employees, with waiting for things to open up and kind of feel normal.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of patience.
Well, I want to thank all you ladies for this wonderful conversation. You guys are amazing. And I want to remind you guys that you guys are doing a great job. And thank you for being here today so that you can talk to everybody else around the world here at the Tech Park. We all miss you and we hope to see you soon. But I do want to remind everybody to, if you want to see the wonderful stories of these ladies, please connect with us on our social media. And I will put it up right here for you so that way you guys can connect with us. And again, thank you, Sarah, Diana, Natalie, and Jade. You guys are amazing. And thank you guys. Have a great day.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.